If you have ever been to Houston, Texas, or turned on your television on a Sunday morning, you have likely seen the massive, shining arena that belongs to Lakewood Church. For many years, this place was the ultimate symbol of success in the world of religion. Led by the smiling and positive Joel Osteen, Lakewood became the largest church in the United States. With over 16,000 seats in a building that used to host professional basketball games, it was a place where thousands of people gathered to hear a message of hope, wealth, and happiness. But recently, something very strange has been happening inside those massive walls. The seats that used to be filled with cheering crowds are starting to look very lonely. Reports are coming in that Joel Osteen's church is emptying out much faster than anyone ever thought possible. It is a story that involves changing times, old scandals, and a shift in how people view the famous prosperity gospel. You really want to watch this video until the very end because we are going to reveal the one specific event that many believe was the beginning of the end for the Lakewood era, and we will look at what the future holds for the man who once had it all. To understand why people are leaving, we have to look back at how Joel Osteen became a superstar in the first place. Joel didn't actually start out as a preacher. His father, John Osteen, was the one who founded Lakewood Church in an old feed store. Joel spent many years behind the scenes, working on the television cameras and making sure his father looked good on screen. He was a master of media long before he ever picked up a Bible to speak to a crowd. When his father passed away in 1999, Joel was very nervous about taking over. But when he finally stepped onto the stage, something clicked. He had a natural charm and a very simple message: God wants you to be happy, healthy, and rich. This message, often called the prosperity gospel, was exactly what millions of people wanted to hear. Within a few years, the church grew so much that they had to move into the Compaq Center, the former home of the Houston Rockets. For a long time, the growth seemed like it would never stop. Joel wrote books like Your Best Life Now that sold millions of copies. He traveled the world, filling up stadiums just like a rock star. The church became a well-oiled machine, with professional lights, loud music, and a level of production that rivaled Hollywood. People traveled from all over the world to sit in one of those 16,000 seats and feel the energy of the crowd. It felt like a giant family where everyone was winning. But as the years went by, the world outside the church began to change. The ways people think about religion and celebrity pastors started to shift, and Joel Osteen found himself facing challenges that his positive attitude couldn't simply smile away. One of the biggest reasons for the empty seats is a general change in how younger generations view big churches. In 2026, many people are looking for something more personal and local. The idea of sitting in a massive arena with thousands of strangers feels less like a spiritual experience and more like a corporate event. Younger people, especially, are often more interested in small groups and community service than in high-tech light shows and expensive stage sets. They are asking hard questions about where the money goes and why a church needs a building that costs millions of dollars a year to maintain. This shift in church culture has hit megachurches like Lakewood the hardest. When the wow factor wears off, many people find that they are looking for something deeper than just a positive pep talk. But it isn't just about changing tastes. There were specific moments that caused people to lose trust in the Osteen brand. The most famous of these happened during Hurricane Harvey in 2017. As the city of Houston was underwater and thousands of people were looking for shelter, Lakewood Church remained closed for several days. Photos of the empty, dry building circulated online while people were sleeping in flooded gyms and schools. The backlash was massive. People were angry that a place that preached about helping others seemed to have its doors locked when the city needed it most. Although Joel later opened the doors and explained that there were safety concerns about the building flooding, the damage to his reputation was already done. For many, it was a moment where the positive message didn't match the actions. Another strange and jarring event happened a few years later. In 2021, a plumber working on a wall at Lakewood Church discovered a massive amount of cash and checks hidden behind a toilet. This money was linked to a robbery that had happened at the church years earlier. While the church said they had no idea the money was there, it brought back a lot of negative attention to the church's finances. It reminded people of just how much money flows through a place like Lakewood. In a time when many families are struggling to pay their bills, seeing stories about bags of cash hidden in walls can make people feel very disconnected from their pastor. It created a sense of mystery and doubt that has been hard for the church to shake off. If you are still watching, you are probably starting to see that the emptying of Lakewood is a combination of many different things. The rise of digital religion has also played a huge role. Why would someone drive an hour through Houston traffic, pay for parking, and sit in a crowded arena when they can watch Joel on their phone while sitting on their couch? The very thing that made Joel famous, his mastery of television and media, might be the thing that is now keeping people away from the physical building. During the global health crisis a few years ago, everyone learned how to do church online. Now that the world has opened back up, many people have decided that they prefer the convenience of the digital version. This has left the 16,000-seat arena feeling much bigger and emptier than it used to. The finances of running such a massive building are also becoming a problem. It costs an incredible amount of money to keep the lights on, the air conditioning running, and the staff paid at a place as large as Lakewood. In the past, the huge crowds provided enough donations to cover everything and more. But as the attendance drops, so does the money coming in. Joel Osteen has always been very private about his personal wealth, but he lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion and has a very luxurious lifestyle. While he says he doesn't take a salary from the church and makes his money from book sales, many people still find it hard to give their hard-earned money to someone who already has so much. This financial fatigue is a common problem for many celebrity pastors in 2026. We also have to talk about the prosperity gospel itself. This is the idea that if you have enough faith and you give enough money, God will reward you with success. For a long time, this message was very popular. But after years of economic ups and downs, many people have found that life doesn't always work that way. Good people get sick, hard workers lose their jobs, and life can be very difficult regardless of how much you believe. When people face these real-world problems and find that a positive thought doesn't fix them, they often feel let down by the church. They start looking for a message that deals with the hard truths of life rather than just the good vibes. This has led many former Lakewood members to look for smaller, more traditional churches that focus on community and support during hard times. As we look toward the future, the question is whether Lakewood Church can survive this change. They are trying to adapt by focusing more on their online presence and trying to reach people in different ways. But the huge building remains a massive weight around their necks. Some people suggest that they might eventually have to sell the arena and move to a smaller location. That would be a jarring moment for the world of religion, as it would signal the end of the megachurch era as we know it. It would show that no matter how big you get, you are never too big to fail if you lose touch with the people you are serving. Thank you so much for staying with us until the very end of this video. The story of Joel Osteen and Lakewood Church is a reminder that the world is always changing. What worked 20 years ago might not work today. It is a story about the importance of being real, being there for your community in times of crisis, and making sure your message has enough depth to handle the hard times. If you found this look at the emptying of Lakewood to be interesting, make sure to let us know in the comments. Do you think megachurches are a thing of the past? Or do you think Joel can find a way to fill those seats again? We love to hear your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Stay tuned for more stories about the people and places that shape our world. The era of the 16,000-seat church might be fading, but the search for meaning and community will always continue. See you in the next video.